Yeah, how's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are back with the news, and I'm here with my brand new microphone. I'm gonna see if I can show you. It glows. Isn't that so cool? Got like RGB lights and stuff like that. So hopefully I don't sound like a tin can, but wanted to go over the news for you guys as I am sleep deprived and tired. So let me answer some frequently asked questions. Richard, where did you get the wand? This wand is from the new Ghastly Conspiracy raid. It's the new 8-player raid that they had recently released, part of the summer update. So make sure to join in guild and yeah, hopefully you get a chance to get this awesome wand because it is really pretty looking. It is a very gorgeous wand. And then the other question I get a lot is, Richard, where did you get the gear? I got the gear from doing all of the Selenopolis challenge mode badges. And let me just say, they are a lot. So good luck with that, and yeah, have fun with that. And then, Richard, are you still working on Tartarus and Aquila or whatever it is? Yeah, I've been grinding the Aquila challenge mode for a while and also doing raids and also farming the resources for the raids. Oh yeah, let me tell you the guys the raid reports. Friday was really good. Got 3 wins. Can't complain about that. That was really good. I don't know what the hell happened to Saturday, and I usually don't curse a lot on the channel. You'll know I never really have a reason to curse. I think this is one of those reasons where I kind of gotta let the emotions out because Saturday was, I think, probably the worst raid I've been in, and I say that a lot on some of my other previous raids back in the day, but I think this is the one of the worst raids we've ever had. I even had to call up like Nicole, my girlfriend. I was like, Nicole, is there something in the sky, like astrology wise, like what's going on? And she said, like, why would you guys raid at on a Mercury retrograde and during a full moon too? It was a full, it was like a super moon last night, not last night, Saturday. I was just like, wow, we really suck. I mean, first of all, we were in the raid. Somebody got reported mid raid because they got insulted, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to choose the rosters myself going forward because clearly Team Synergy is for shit. So next time I do a raid, I'm just going to make the roster myself. And then if, nobody can join, then I'll pick somebody else and all that stuff. Like, I literally cannot ask anybody else to raid with me anymore because I think now the problem I have with this 8-player raid is that it makes it harder to kind of at least form teams in a sense because it's only 8 players. It's not like the 12-player raids. With the 12-player raids, it's, I think, a little bit more, I don't know, I wouldn't say accessible, right? I like the 8-player raids because they're easier to make the rosters, but at the same time, I have to be very picky on who I play with just because if team synergy is off, then we end up losing a lot. And and this isn't just a ghastly raid. This has happened plenty of times before, especially in my guild. So if you ever want some dumb, like if you ever want to see adults fight, or you just want to see dumb adults, please join my guild because yeah, that's usually what tends to happen. I think everything has cooled down now, but we'll see what happens in the future. But right now, I think we're we're slowly approaching that time of the year for me where it's time to do that little whiz detox. That little nice whiz detox. Because quite frankly, I put a lot of hours into this game. I don't think a lot of people understand like how long it takes to make those raid keys. The Azoth, I could care less for. It's that darn monstrology. And farming that for hours and hours drives you nuts. And then when you make a 3 hour key and you only get one raid win because the team synergy is for shit, then you basically just wasted all those hours farming for a raid key for literally no reason, right? Now, on Sunday, we did a little practice raid. It was a 1.5 hour key, and we had a lot of newcomers. I actually liked the Sunday raid way better, even though we didn't get no wins in a shorter duration, which is fine because it was primarily just to practice and help some of these newcomers out, kind of get adjusted to, you know, how the raid is and stuff like that. So I don't care about wasting those keys. I care about the 3-hour raid keys. So next time I do a 3-hour raid key, I'm gonna have to just pick those rosters out myself. Like, I'm literally just gonna have to like cherry pick who I want to raid with. Like, I'm not gonna have no newcomers. It's just gonna be primarily veterans or people that I know that's a vibe, that's literally not going to like get reported mid raid, that actually, you know, wants to lock in, get some wins, and, you know, not cause a fucking hissy fit, right? So hopefully, and then eventually we will do the Dragonspire raid. A lot of people have had questions about the previous older raids. We are definitely working on rosters for that. I mean, the Dragonspire raid roster is pretty much complete. I just have to find a certain time and date, and also got to do the raid pre-quest for that, so I can have the ability to actually craft the keys for that. Because the previous raid keys, they're super easy to make. I just think that this new raid, the 8-player raid, the Animus part, you know, with Monstrology, I just think that's just over the top. I think at most it should just be 10. I really don't know why you need 20 Animus of the Storm Eye robot just to make one summon treasure card. I mean, I just think, to me, that's a little bit much, especially when you're not even going to be running double Animus weekend. Because then I could use my triple Animus elixir, and then I wouldn't be complaining here. But they haven't run it in so long. The only thing they've run is double pet XP, or free training point buyback, which they've had this weekend. And it's like, dude, like, where's the double Animus? Like, dude, come on. Like, I get it, but like, I don't need double pet XP anymore. Like, if you're going to spam so many membership benefits so frequently, why not just make it an actively occurring thing, you know? Like, why not just make it a passive benefit so that it's not on this randomly fixed calendar of just waiting to see, like, oh, I wonder what's today's membership benefit. Like, oh, it's double pet XP. Like, oh my goodness, who would have thought, you know? Like, you know, it's just like, there's a lot of things I wish they could do for this game, but at the same time, I know they can't do it because as of right now, at least from my understanding, they just can't do it. They don't, I don't know if it's the technology they have, or if it's the resources, or the staffing. Like, I don't really know what's wrong, but I just don't rely much on KI to do any new updates. I mean, especially for the Aquila content update, which surprisingly I have not seen that many bugs and glitches. The only bug and glitch we had is when they had that exploit, and then they had to take it down briefly, and then they had to bring it back up. Now, apparently, the new exclusive pets, which apparently everybody like seems to be raving about. I actually have one. It's the whatchamacallit, the Stormy Skeltorian. And I was in the pet pavilion. Everybody was just staring me down. I'm like, what? I got it like on my first try of Atlantia too. So yeah, everybody's trying to get these pets, and apparently some of the pet combinations are actually broken because these pets are marked exclusive, and that's something that they haven't necessarily thought about. So that's definitely going to take a couple maintenances or hot fixes to figure out, because I know a lot of people are trying to get the hybrid pets and the balance pet and all that stuff. You know, it's all over the place right now. There's good guides out there. I'll see if I can find one. We have it in the Discord server. Just join the Discord server. But yeah, I know that the whole pet thing is like all over the place. So I'll probably just wait until they actually fix it for that. But yeah, I got this Storm pet. So yeah, me and him just vibing. I actually really like the Aquila content update. It's obviously a nice break from the disaster raids, so it's just something nice. Last night I did a team up, 2 Storm Wizards and a Fire Wizard. We struggled a little bit, but we managed to thug it out. So now I only need to do Tartarus one more time, which I'll probably just bang out and team up again. And then after that, I would complete all of the Aquila challenge mode badges, and then that means I would get the challenge mode gear set. Now, remember, you can visit the level scaler over here, and you can see like what your stats are. I've seen a lot of people kind of like come in here that still don't know like really what challenge mode is. There's a whole level scaling system in it and stuff like that. Like if you go over here in Aquila, you'll talk to this guy called Legate, and I don't know why they don't have an icon above his name. He's kind of hard. He's kind of, I wouldn't say hard to miss, but he's pretty easy to miss, I would have to say. But you talk to him and you can level scale yourself to level 30, which is Mount Olympus, level 70 to Atlantia, and level 90 to Tartarus. It even says that level scale to Tartarus, and then it will show you those stats. So if you're a level 170, you basically want to keep the level 170 stat caps, right? That's pretty much the same thing. A lot of people still don't understand the whole like stat cap situation with that, and we have that in our Discord server and a lot of our guides. But if you're level 170, just reach the level 170 stat caps, and then when you level scale, you'll be at the optimal level, or at least the optimal like stats for whatever type of dungeon that you're trying to do. But I know that's been a very confusing thing for a lot of people, but trust me, it's not too hard. It just takes a lot of time and patience. And concerning the drop rate issue, I think the problem is a lot of people have just automatically farmed Sisyphus, which is fine because Sisyphus does drop, I believe, the balance pet, which I'm not sure if it's bugged. No, I don't think it's bugged. I don't know. You know, when it comes to this game and the company, you don't know what's bugged and what's fixed. You really don't know. But anyway, a lot of people are just farming Sisyphus, which is fine, but it definitely takes a very long time to get some of these spellments. I would just recommend doing some of the challenge mode dungeons because you get a lot more spellments through that. They are a little lengthy depending on your team, but yeah, I would recommend probably just doing some of the challenge mode dungeons. But if you just want a little bit of an easier form or something that's a little bit simple and short, maybe I would recommend Sisyphus. And yes, even though I said all of that, I still think they could buff the drops. But at the end of the day, they just want you to buy the pack and suffer. So it is what it is. But that pretty much ends my entire tangent about not only raids, but just in general stuff. There's not really any Wiz news that we cover because most of the stuff that happened during the weekend has already expired. You remember that we still have those little daily events, not daily, but weekly, Spiral Showcase and Myth Decathlon event. So do make sure that you are doing those events and getting all of those, you know, event points, right? So we have a raid, concerning raids, we have a raid scheduled for Friday at any time. My boy Don wanted to do a early Friday raid, but obviously that's when people are typically working. The problem with raid rosters is that a lot of people don't understand that you can't add it to a fixed schedule for yourself. You have to think of the other 7 players, right? So if you want to do a time based on your own self, usually those raid rosters won't be filled up because everybody else is either busy. There's different time zones, there's different situations that people have. So it really just depends on the availability of everyone else, not just you in general. No, yeah, not just you, myself. And that's what we kind of did over time, is that we found out that, all right, people play at night, so that's when we'll do some raids, right? But then you also got to think about time zones of all these other people. And then you got to think about work. We have people from Pakistan, Australia. So that's, again, it all boils down to the time zones. California also has a time zone. Yeah, every place had a time zone. I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize. But hopefully we'll figure it out. But I'm about almost done with the Ghastly raid. I primarily wanted to do the raid for the wand, which I already have the wand, so you know, I'm pretty much done with that raid anytime soon. Because quite frankly though, I kind of miss the 12-player raids. I really do miss the 12-player raids, and the 12-player raids just offer a little bit more that I need. You know, the Ghastly raid is fun. It's a very fun raid, and I hope that next time they do more 8-player raids. I just think 12 players, it's harder to kind of get a roster formed with that. It's a bigger team, so a lot more micromanaging and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. I'm just about done with raiding in general. I'm just tired of playing Wizard101. This Aquila challenge mode stuff has kind of drained me, and then I gotta farm the raid keys in general. So it's like it doesn't really matter if I'm done the Aquila challenge mode or not. I still, as guild leader, have to farm for the raid keys. Since Mr. Don wants to do a 3-hour raid, as always. But honestly though, I might just stick to the 1.5 hours. They're just a lot more easier to craft, even though we'll probably get less runs in. I just think that the 3-hour keys are just extreme. If it did not take 20 animus, or if they would finally just release a double animus benefit, you know, a membership benefit for that, then I definitely would not be complaining. But like I said, these are the kind of things that they can do passively instead of being on a fixed randomized schedule. You know, I'm kind of just sitting here guessing like, oh, I wonder what membership benefit is going to be. And like I said earlier, oh my gosh, it's double pet XP. You know, it's like it's like it kind of gets to a point where it's like, what's the point of having a membership? You know, it's very like, I would have to say unexpected, you know, having a membership, because you just don't know what membership benefit you're gonna get. But anyway, that's my main 2 cents about everything. I'm gonna wrap this video up. If you do join the guild, the raid, or whatever it is, and it doesn't matter what guild you join, I would imagine that other guilds are way more stricter than me. Okay, I'm a little bit more lenient on stuff, but sometimes it can get to a point where a lot of things irks me. Like, I'm fine with 0 wins, but when the team synergy goes to shit and people are reporting each other, that's when I lose my shit. Like, that's when I crash out. And I crash out on not just one, I crashed out on the entire guild. Because quite frankly, everybody was acting like a child Saturday. And I was very ashamed. Very ashamed and disappointed. I really was. Saturday was terrible. That will probably be the last time we ever do a Saturday raid on a Mercury retrograde. Like, I'm literally gonna call Nicole and ask her like the astrology forecast. Like, I want to know what planet and what moon is lined up so I know not to raid. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm done. I'm done talking. That's just my crash out news. We'll talk tomorrow about the other news. I know that they updated their KI merchandise store, but I really just do not care. Yeah, and again, regarding the Aquila pets, some of them are a little buggy. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't really care, again. I just want to get this one last Tartarus run done, make a video about that, and then upload all my other challenge mode videos, because, quite frankly, I'm tired. And it is time for a Wizard101 detox very, and I mean very soon.